It's that time of year again. We have a pumpkin candle. We have a pumpkin mug with pumpkin spice coffee. Okay, it's giving white girl final boss right now. Fall book girlies, you have been summoned. Hi booktube, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Emily and I like to read and then yap about what I'm reading. I think that was the first time I just did my intro in one take. That's crazy. We're growing. In today's video, we are going over my August reads very briefly at the beginning and then diving into my September TBR, which, not to brag, I feel like I have such a good lineup and I cannot wait to get into it. If you like things that are spooky, gothic, dark, if you love yearning, romantasy, all of the mystical, magical, right, not me quoting my probably long lost brother Benson Boone. I say that because my last name is Benson. So then this video is for you. I like to describe myself as an evermore girl. I feel like if I were a season, I would be fall. When I look at this lineup, I picture the color burgundy or like maroon for some reason. If that makes sense to you, then you are in the right place. Cannot wait because this is my season. Like, do you hear that? It's the fall book girls defrosting. Before we dive into today's video, if you like me, if you want to see more of me, please go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button down below. And if you're a real one, and I really hope you are, you'll remember to hit that bell notification icon next to it so you never miss a new upload from me. You can also go and follow me over on my Bookstagram at Emily Marie Reads with 2 S's because, say it with me, my name is basic. That's right. What you gonna do? Now that's out of the way, let's dive into my August reads really quick before we dive into all of the books that I plan on reading in September. In August, I read 4 books, which is really good for me. I actually had a crazy August. I also got my wisdom teeth out, so I have less wisdom in this video. It's fine. And I work a full-time corporate job and it's been crazy over there lately. So the fact that I read 4 books that are extremely large for the most part is really impressive to me. I don't care if you read 1 book or if you read 17. Everyone is a reader over here. We don't judge. With that being said, I'm going to start off with my first read/reads, The Tandem Read by Sarah J. Maas. This is a part of the Throne of Glass series. If you haven't seen these, literally, are you living under a rock? Like, are you okay? These are the last 2 books before the final book in the series, Kingdom of Ash. I mentioned this in a past video as well. I read these about a year ago, but I just did not really feel like I remembered much of it, and I needed to do a reread. I did a buddy read with my mom because she just read ACOTAR like maybe a month ago, and then dove right into Throne of Glass, and she was obsessed. Really, really fun time rereading these. I didn't do the tandem read necessarily. I actually just read Empire of Storms first, and then Tower of Dawn, which is the correct publishing order, and I really, really liked it because at first I called this, okay, don't come for me, I called this one Tower of Yawn for like the longest time. I just found that we were following characters that I didn't really fall in love or connect with right away. I still really appreciated them and their stories. This one has all my favorites in it. Basically, you get the same timelines in these books, but you have half of the characters in one part of the world and half in another part. I was just missing everybody from this book. But this one really, really grew on me. I think I gave this one 4.5 stars initially, and this one I gave 4 stars. I would bump this one up to 4.25, and I'm gonna stick with my 4.5 star rating for these. I really loved Empire of Storms. You get introduced to a group of witches a lot more in this book. I was really, really excited about that. I wasn't really sure how I was gonna feel about doing a reread, but I actually had like the time of my life, and I ended up picking up on so many things that I missed. And this series being as long and like as hefty as it is, it's really important, I feel like, to actually do a reread and just be like, oh my god, that's why this happened. It was really fun. I felt like, you know, being back in this universe just hit so hard the second time around. It led me to my next read, which is, drumroll please, you guessed it, Kingdom of Ash. I was literally outside like maybe 30 minutes ago, just sitting on the back deck crying over TikToks because, listen, this looks like a massive book. This is a massive book, but the plot itself is literally otherworldly. I wish this was longer. I wish I was here forever. I don't really know if I had the words to even review this still. This book is a 6,000 star read. This is my new prized possession. If you touch her, you die. The way that chapter 1 immediately dives in, there is no hesitation. It's immediately jam-packed with action, with the thrill of it all. It's absolutely devastating. I was like unwell reading this. Just the overall plot of this entire series just hits me so hard. And every single character that you're introduced to, and I mean every single one, is there for a reason, and I connected with literally all of them. I don't know how someone can write a book like that. I put this off. I've never read this book, so I did do a reread of these, and I had read all of Throne of Glass, but I've never read this one, and it was because of me not feeling like I really absorbed these two that I put off this one. I'm really happy with my decision to do a reread and then dive into this. I feel like my mom and I are closer now. Like, this is everything to me. The parallels as well between this and some other books of hers are crazy. This is quite literally a masterpiece. No notes. If you've been putting this off, you need to pick this up. I swear, I feel like fall as well is such a good time to read this series.
I'm jealous of you.
If you're starting this series for the first time, help I'm still at the restaurant. The last book that I read in August was Gothicana by Runix. I think that's how you say it. I do have the physical copy. I'm just too lazy to go get it. Yes. This book I ended up giving a 3-star rating, but honestly, I kind of feel like it's more of a 2.5. I don't know what it was. I heard a lot of people who liked Nocticadia by Carrie Lake really liked this book, and I'm confused. I feel like those people might have read Gothicana first and then Nocticadia, because if you read Nocticadia first, which for me was like a 5-star read, so I love that book. I think it's perfect. And then I go to Gothicana, I was like, I don't like that. And it just made me miss Debrick Bramwell. So it's not a bad book by any means. I feel like there's definitely people out there who would like this. I think that my brain is skewed after reading Nocticadia, and nothing will live up to that for me. And then the other part of it is it's a very small book. I think it's like maybe 400 pages, and it just like chapter 9 she gets physical. I don't like that, especially because it's like professor student vibe. So tell me how she like just gets to school. Okay, she has this weird lore with her mom. Also, she says mama
instead of saying like come here mama. I'll be like come here mama.
Like, I don't know why that was off-putting to me, but she just gets to school. I'm assuming she has other classes because she's at university, but it felt more like high school to me, very kind of like YA, but then also very rated R material. I can't get my head around the fact that she's at a university. She obviously has other classes, and I've only ever seen her in the one class with the one hot professor who's like, in my head, ugly. They make eye contact in like one class, and then suddenly they run into each other, and he's got his fingers like up in there. That doesn't add up to me. I'm sorry. Chapter 9 that's happening, I can't. It like defeats the whole purpose. Even though there are fantastical elements to it, like it's obviously supposed to be fictional, it still has to kind of make sense in my brain. That to me makes 0 sense. But I didn't love that, and then like the rest of the book just felt so YA to me, and all that they ever did was have sex. And don't get me wrong, I love smut books. I'm like, I eat them up. Okay, I want more of those. So that's not really the problem. It's just like there needs to be some sort of tension or yearning, and I just pictured like this really fugly guy being the male character, and like weird names. Like the MMC's name is Vaude and the FMC's name is Corvina. I was like, no, I just wasn't really feeling it. That could be user error. I don't know. It could be for you. I wouldn't say that like I don't recommend it. I just don't really care about it, and I didn't really have that good of a time reading it, but it was a fast read and I didn't DNF it, so there's that. That is it for my August wrap up. She's short and sweet. RIP to that era, by the way. New Sabrina, hello. New Taylor, hello. Now we're gonna dive into my September TBR, and like I'm so excited about this because the lineup is stacked, and a lot of these books are books that I've just had my eye on for so long, and I've just been waiting. I've been like actually gnawing at the bars of my enclosure, waiting to read these in the fall time. So I can't wait to share these with you. I can't wait to dive into them, and I am so excited for my September wrap up. Some of these are newer, some of these are OGs, some of them you might not have heard of. Who knows? Regardless, grab a snack. Maybe something pumpkin flavored, perhaps. Pumpkin spice latte, pumpkin pie. Just kidding. You don't have to do that. But make yourself comfortable nonetheless, because we're going to be yapping about some really good books. And you know what? Maybe grab a notepad, because you might want to write these down. The first book on my September TBR is Heavenly Bodies by Amani Ariu. This book has been on the TBR. Maybe I was trying to read this in the summer and just didn't get to it, but I think deep down my subconscious knew that this was meant for fall. I mean, just look at it. She's gorgeous. This one, I'm gonna read the back because I fear I'm going to butcher my explanation. In my words, this book has gods and a really cool magic system that has me hooked. I've heard that there's supposed to be another book, but the author keeps putting it off. Honestly, that's fine by me. I need to just get on the hype train. I need to read this. I want to be in the know. So I don't mind waiting. I don't want to be that person who's like turning publishing into fast fashion vibes. Let's dive into the summary on the back. In a world ruled by the cruel and merciless stars, Alara has been cursed by fate. Oh my god, wait, I've totally read this before. Shut up. Not me being like, let me read the back. I have fully filmed this in my July TBR of me reading the back.
Right.
That's honestly embarrassing. It's September and I haven't read it. Sue me, lock me up. In that case, since I have read the back already in my July TBR, essentially this is kind of giving star-crossed lovers. There's a prophecy, there's a whole magic system. Her fate is said to be one thing, but it might turn out to be another when the MMC walks in. It seems like a really interesting setup. It also is a pretty reasonable length. How many pages are there? We're looking at 475 pages, so I feel like that's pretty good for a fantasy book. Like, that's definitely like not too long, not too short, and I've heard a lot of people really raving about this. We're giving this a go in September. Next up on the list has been on the list. Okay, she's been living here rent-free and it's time. I simply have to read this in September/October this year. This is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is a staple on everyone's fall TBR, including mine, and I feel like there's a very good reason for it. This one is very highly talked about, and a lot of people, from what I've seen, absolutely love this book. A lot of people seem to swear by it. People have said that it's pulled them out of like year-long slumps. So naturally, I had to add this to my TBR. I'm gonna read the blurb on the back because I feel like a lot of people have seen this book but might not actually know what it's about, and I'm not gonna do it justice. So here we go. Ketterdam, a bustling hub of international trade where anything can be had for the right price. And no one knows that better than criminal prodigy Kaz Brecker. Kaz is offered a chance at a deadly heist that could make him rich beyond his wildest dreams. Taylor Swift mentioned, but he can't pull it off alone. A convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wraith. Ooh, okay. A heartrender using her magic to survive the slums, a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes. Kaz's crew are the only ones who might stand between the world and destruction if they don't kill each other first. I'm really excited about this. I know that there's like the Shadow and Bone trilogy by this author as well. Apparently this is just so incredibly good, and I think it's kind of giving, like, from what I've gathered, almost like dark academia vibes. I don't know. It's fantastical. That's like the word of the day. Fantastical. Oh my god. It's got fantasy, it's got like found family vibes, so I'm very excited to dive into this one. Please, someone hold me accountable. It's just so pretty as well. This to me is just the epitome of a fall book, so can't wait to finally understand the hype around this one. Next is like kind of off-brand for me, but we have Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. This one is a thriller. I've never really read a thriller, which is kind of a lie because I technically have, but it was Verity by Colleen Hoover, so like I'm not counting that. I've never really just gone to the thriller section and picked out a book and been like, oh, I'm gonna read that, until a few weeks ago when I picked this one up. Basically, this one is about two sisters. It's been more than 20 years according to the back of the book, and they haven't spoken, but both of them are still suffering after grieving the disappearance of their sister Julia 2 decades earlier. And then suddenly one of the sisters' husbands gets murdered, and now it feels like their past is their present and they're just back to square one. The disappearance of their sister and then the killing of this husband, it just seems like they might be linked, and they uncover a lot of secrets and spooky things in this book. It's honestly a pretty short read, which makes me excited because I feel like a thriller doesn't have to be that long. This one I saw Gabby Shea talk about, and I would definitely recommend checking the trigger warnings. I also just think, like, honestly, that should be best practice at this point. Protect yourself, you know what I mean? It definitely seems a little bit dark, a little spooky, and I'm very intrigued about this one. I feel like on a rainy day reading this would absolutely hit. Next on my list, let me tell you, I've been actually trying to find this book for probably a solid 1.5 years at this point, and this would be Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. When I tell you, I could not find these anywhere, and this is not the original cover. The things that I would do to have the original cover are ungodly. This one's still really cute. I'm not mad at this. This one is, I believe it just got like, what's the word, like republished? I don't know. I think it was independently published before and now she got picked up by a big publisher. I don't know. I'm just a girl. This one has me so curious. I see so many of my favorite book talkers, bookstagrammers, booktubers, all the girlies talking about this one. I will say I've seen mixed opinions, so I'm curious to see how I feel about it. Basically, there is this girl named Darcy and her dad, her biological dad, passes away. She was not very close to her dad, but she decides to attend his funeral, which happens to be set in this mysterious little place called Fairydale. And essentially she gets into the town and it seems like a very weird thing. Everything is off, people are off, just the town itself is off, the homes, everything. And she finds herself basically uncovering a ton of lies and deceitful things that she's always thought to be true. She kind of goes like insane in this book from what I've heard, and something about that just screams fall to me. The quote on the back as well: "I might be evil personified, but you're the only one I'll ever be good to." I'm hooked. I can't wait to get into this one and I will report back with my thoughts as per usual. Guess who's back? The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Did I get to this in July? No. So her and her bestie Heavenly Bodies are back on my September TBR. This one I have to. I think now that I've wrapped up Throne of Glass, which by the way, I'm a little scared to see how my reviews are impacted moving forwards because nothing will live up to that series. I really think that I will just need a few books in between, cleanse the palette, and then dive into this one. It's very emotional. It follows two sisters who enroll in the war. It's like World War II setting. This follows two sisters who are extremely different, like different ideals, perspectives, just complete opposites. And they both end up enrolling in the war and end up going to war-torn France. And it's a very, very interesting read following their journey, and a lot of people cry. Prepare yourselves, okay? Don't say I didn't warn you. Hopefully I get to this because I am really, really itching to read this. You know what to do. Hold me accountable. This is literally the first book that I thought of when I was making my fall TBR, and it is The Exorcism of Fairies by J.L. Vampa. I have talked about this before. This one is just destined for fall. I mean, look at this. It's pretty short as well. Bailey's Bookshelf, my girly, she loved this book, and this is a new to me author, so I'm really, really excited to get into this. I was debating reading this earlier, like in the summer, but I did put it off because it just didn't feel right. This one is a dark academia romance. There's a daughter of these morticians who is studying botany at Trinity College in Dublin. So I'm like, okay, not only is it dark academia / romance, it's also in Dublin. Okay, like immediately yes. And it's professor student. Yup, yeah it is. Apparently this is becoming a new thing for me. I don't know what it is, but Nocticadia has me chasing that high. So this one is very interesting. There's a lot of demons, there's a plague, it seems very spooky, gothic, all of the words that I would think of when I think of fall TBRs. It's this book. So I cannot wait to get into this one. I feel like this is next step on my list to read. Stay tuned. And the last one on my physical TBR is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This book has been all over Book Talk, BookTube, Bookstagram,
everywhere.
And I feel like it has to be for good reason. Am I terrified of moths? Absolutely, but I will in fact be reading this and being so brave because I've just heard nothing but good things. It's a pretty short book as well. I'm assuming we just like dive right in. And I'm also actually very excited to read more Rachel Gillig. I'm currently reading One Dark Window by her as well, which I'm really enjoying. I'm definitely like only like 25% in, I think, right now. So who knows? This one I'm very excited about. Basically, there's a young prophet that is our FMC who is on this quest with one knight, but she can't see his future. Somehow they become intertwined. This is definitely Romantasy. I'm kind of going into this a little bit blind, only because with really popular books, I find that like all these opinions just are too much for me. I'm just gonna pick it up and read it and see what happens. The next two books that I have on my TBR are not physical books because I do not own them yet, but I will. Number one is A Master of Salt and Bones by Carrie Lake, who I think might be like my author of the year. I absolutely devoured Nocticadia. I loved Anathema. I just feel like I want to read everything that this woman produces, so I will in fact be reading that. When I was a little girl, I dreamed a handsome knight would come and rescue me from my wretched mother. He'd ride up on his white steed and break the curse I've been fated to carry since the day I was born. Funny how things change changed over time. How the fairy tale twisted into something far more crooked, darker than I ever imagined. In reality, my knight is scarred and broken, my favorite. Living alone in a castle of bones that overlooks the sea. He isn't searching for me. He never was. Lucian Blackthorn is as cursed as I am, and equally shunned by the locals, the fishers of men who believe him to be the devil in the flesh. Can you see why I love this woman in her brain? Like, she gets it. Perhaps he is, with the way his amber eyes draw me in, ignite me like an infernal blaze. And the sins he whispers in my ear are as wickedly intoxicating as the man himself. Okay. Yet his touch is heaven and his will is my weakness. He calls us forbidden and unsalvageable tragedy with no happy end. Maybe we are. But in this story, he's the one who needs saving. Master of Salt and Bones is a dark, modern, gothic, contemporary, standalone romance. Holy shit, that's a lot of words. But my favorite. Need I say more? Obviously, I'm excited about this one. Also, speaking of Anathema, the second book in that series, I don't know what it's called. Eldritch is the name of the book. I don't know the series name. It's coming out in September. I did not realize how dark it was getting, but also ambiance. That's better. And the last one on my TBR, which I did in fact save the best for last, or at least the most interesting one for last, is not Manacled, actually. It's now called Alchemized by Senlin Yu, which is the Dramini fanfic that I'm sure you've heard about if you're anywhere on Book Talk, BookTube, any of those things. This one is actually on my list because of also Gabby Shea. She absolutely ate it up, and I won't lie, first I'm a little nervous. Everyone says to check the trigger warning, so do that. Don't say I didn't warn ya. Also because I love Hermione Granger. Her character and I just like, we get each other. I really loved how much she hated Draco and I never saw her and Draco together. I know that there are Dramini stans who have been around since literally the whole entire series started. I personally was never one of those because I didn't understand it. However, was I on Draco Talk? Absolutely, I was on Draco Talk. And did I eat it up? I ate it up the way that that man ate that green apple, and I wish I was the apple. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, maybe I'm changed, maybe this will change me. I just feel like I need to do it. I've been thinking about this for years at this point, and now it's becoming like a traditionally published book. I feel like I have to do it. That one, let me know if you want a reading vlog for, because I think that one would be kind of interesting. And with that, that is my completed September TBR. That's a very ambitious TBR given me in my schedule, but honestly, like I said, in the fall, I'm just like constantly reading. Like, I feel like no matter what, whether I'm driving, I put on an audiobook, doesn't matter. I am just constantly looking for a book to read. Really hoping I get through that. There's so many books that I'm excited about. One of them in particular being Brimstone, which I believe comes out in October. I'll put it somewhere on the screen, which is the second book after Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I literally love that book. Maybe I'll do a reread. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Nonetheless, I cannot wait for all of the fall content. Like I said, I'm a fall girl through and through, and I feel like a lot of book girlies are as well. So I can't wait to bond with you, talk about all of our favorite fall reads. It'll be so much fun. If you made it to this point in the video, let me know by commenting a ghost emoji down below. If you are doing that, you deserve a forehead kiss, because I don't know how long I've been talking, but it feels like a very long time. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for watching. It really does mean the world to me. You deserve everything and more, and I hope that you have the best reading month ever. Let's manifest that September will be our best one yet. Make sure you stick around to see some more fall book content. This is again my favorite time of year, so there's gonna be a lot of fun videos coming out. So please be sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below and hit the little bell notification icon so you never miss a new upload from me. And also follow me on my Bookstagram, because I'd love to make more videos that you guys specifically had voted for. So please follow me over at Emily Marie Reads with 2 S's, because my name is Basic, so you can be a part of that in the future. That's enough yapping from me. I will see you guys in my next video next week. Bye!